We're going to be doing something different on this episode, doing something of a sampler where we'll be featuring three different artists, which are Pamela, Sosyete 25, and also Kook Joey. And if you'd like to hear more, please stick around. This is all gas, no trash. My name's Adam, and welcome back to the program, and welcome to a brand new episode. I wasn't really sure what to do this week as far as making an episode goes because I wasn't exactly feeling like putting a ton of work into researching different artists. I kind of just want to give surface level info and just kind of talk about some of the songs I've been interested as of late. So here we have this smorgasbord episode that features three different artists, and the way it's going to work is we'll talk a little bit about each artist. It won't go too much in depth, but we'll talk a bit about them and then feature the song, and then we'll move on to the next artist and do the exact same thing. So I might end up doing more of these if I feel like it, if there's leftover artists that I want to talk about and just kind of compile them into one episode, and you guys can pick and choose what you want to listen to, or maybe just listen to the whole episode. But in any case, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about before we get to the episode itself. I just wanted to quickly address that we have reached 200 subscribers. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed, liked, commented. It's not a number that I thought we could reach because it is rather odd to have a YouTube channel that is strictly audio, but hopefully you have found this podcast entertaining or even informative on some of the up and coming artists of today that I want to talk about and I really enjoy, and hopefully you have been enjoying them yourselves. But I just want to give a quick thanks to everybody that has been supportive of our channel, and let's keep it going and we'll see where it takes us. And I wish I could give a nice firm handshake to each of you and give you a round of applause for being so supportive. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the episode itself. The first band that we're going to be talking about is called Pamela and is comprised of Josh Kempen and Sarah Ellen, who initially were housemates that ended up becoming bandmates, where they shared a listening experience of listening to Pink Floyd's Shine On You Crazy Diamond, and from there, I guess they started their music project together, and they have made comparisons of themselves to bands like the XX, the Strokes, and also the Marias, although the song that we are going to be checking out is called Better Than Before, which probably sounds more like the Strokes with the jangly pop tunes, I guess. But I will say that probably the song that is more representative of something like the Marias is Skin Contact, so you can check that out on your own. The last thing to mention is, of course, that they are currently based out of Sydney, Australia, though they were formerly from Kingsford, Australia. And, anyways, let's go ahead and get to the tunes. We're going to be checking out Better Than Before. We'll have the link available for you in the podcast episode description, and also the video version on YouTube for whatever platform you end up using. And we'll also have the music video at the end as one of the end cards, so if you want to click on that, and I highly recommend you actually check out the music video because it is kind of it is pretty impressive to watch. So let's go ahead and listen to Better Than Before from Pamela going in. Welcome back. That was Pamela with her track called Better Than Before. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. One thing I forgot to mention is that Pamela appears to be signed to EMI Records Australia, which features artists like Empire the Sun, Alice in Wonderland, and also Telenovela, if you're a fan of any of those bands. Furthermore, this track specifically is about, I guess, the levity of a breakup, that you're no longer burdened or have this pressure on you, that you're alleviated, and it's kind of the post-release feeling that you have after a breakup, and it certainly shows in the song with like how light and playful it feels. Like, I know it's kind of a shitty situation, but we'll find out what we can do afterwards and make the best of this situation, feel rejuvenated or find a new meaning in life. Just enjoying your time alone, so to speak. But I think certainly this song is akin to something like the Strokes. It's got that jangly guitar sound. I think they could play nice with a band like the Tula Marines, who are also from Australia. Hell, I could even see them playing with Royal Otis, but yeah, I mean, the other thing that I wanted to, I guess, quickly mention is that the vocalist for Pamela, Josh Kempen, kind of reminds me of the dude from War on Drugs, if anybody's ever listened to that band. Kind of has like a similar voice to him, but I think if there were another comparable band that Pamela kind of sounds like, I'd say maybe Junior Varsity. So if you're a fan of that band, that maybe you would listen to a band like Pamela. Unfortunately, we won't be checking out the other track called Skin Contact. That's something you can do on your own time. We're going to go ahead and get to the next band, which is actually I think it's a side project, if I'm not mistaken, from an already established band member in another project, but we'll go ahead and get to that in the next segment. The next band that we're going to be talking about is called Sosyete 25, which translates to Society 25 in Turkish. And this band is comprised of songwriter and vocalist Merv Erdem from Kit Sebastian, which is a band that is on Brainfeeder Records that you might know for Flying Lotus and Thundercat, amongst many other artists. Also, Glenn Fallows, who is a guitar player and producer, and also associated with Globe Flower Masters and also Mr. Bongo. And Mr. Bongo is something that I've only recently become familiar with because of a few different artists. Ella Thompson appears to be signed, or at the very least, getting her music pressed by Mr. Bongo in the form of vinyl, and Curio Curio is another band that we have recently discovered that is also getting their music pressed by Mr. Bongo in the form of vinyl, though I don't actually know if either of them are actually signed to the record label. But in either case, we at the very least are familiar with Mr. Bongo in a small capacity. And the last person in the group is multi-instrumentalist Paul Elliott. And so this person, this is kind of interesting. He's been involved with Asha Putli, Bacau Rhythm and Steel Band. And I think that one is particularly interesting, Bacau Rhythm and Steel Band, because that band is signed to Big Crown Records, whom you might know for bands like Brain Story, shoot, I'm trying to think of Bobby Arosa, L. Michaels Affair. You know, a lot of great artists on that label. So to see kind of this intersection of Mr. Bongo, Big Crown Records, an artist from Brain Feeder, it's kind of cool. Like, I think if you already aren't impressed by some of the people involved, certainly the music will tantalize your ears. So the way I can describe their music, or at least what's said in the description of their bio, is that they are Mediterranean pop with modern left field production and the poetic pull of Turkish songwriting in a vivid, rhythmic, and joyfully alive sound. So if you are a fan of bands like Krungbin, Sababa 5, let's say Budos Band, you might enjoy this band. It's heavily on the disco and funk side with, I guess, Turkish flavor on it. But yeah, we're going to be checking out this song called Sevgi off of the debut album of Sosyete 2025, or excuse me, Sosyete 25. So let's go ahead and check out Sevgi from Sosyete 25 off of their debut album, which I can't pronounce and I'm not going to bother. But we also have the links available for you to check out this band within the podcast episode description, and also the video version on YouTube, so you can click on that and check it out. And we'll also have it as one of the end cards for the this episode on YouTube. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to Sevgi from Sosyete 25 going in. Welcome back. That was Sosyete 25 with their track called Sevgi. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Man, I feel like there's an exclamation mark after every hard beat from the percussion section. Oh man, it's so fucking good. And I love the fact that there's all these instruments kind of going on, from the bongos to organ keys, the horn section, which is just orgasmic. The guitar work is super awesome with like the chords being played with the wah wah pedal, and yeah, it's got like this Turkish flair to it, and Merv's vocals are so divine, man. Like they're really heavenly, and I was like kind of lost as to whether this was Merv from formerly of Altingun, but yeah, I started looking into it, and it turns out it was Merv from Kit Sebastian. I was like, oh, cool. Like I didn't even know there was even like a side project in the works, but it was quite the surprise, and I would highly recommend that anybody check out this new debut album, which is called Ye Gada. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It just dropped recently, so if you have some time to check out some disco and Turkish funk tracks that, like I said, if you're interested in bands like, say, Shishi, Krungbin, Budo Span, Sababa 5, I would even say Rio Costa. I could see a band like Sosyete 25 playing with any one of those groups. But we do have to keep going. There's one last artist that we have to get to, so let's go ahead and get to the next segment. So there's one more artist that we have to check out, which is Kook Joey from Australia. And I'll be perfectly honest, the reason that I checked out this artist was because of Don West, who is an Australian soul artist that has taken the world by storm and is going to be playing in California in the coming months. But he was following Kook Joey, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll be checking out what this artist is all about, because if Don West likes her, then surely she has to have some good music. And of course, there is one song that captivated me, and we're going to be checking out Puppy Love from Kook Joey. I don't know how I feel about the rest of her discography, but I can't say that Puppy Love is the strongest track to be featured in her discography, and hopefully there are more songs like it. And yeah, I don't have much else to offer in terms of information about Kook Joey, so we're just going to go straight to the music. So this is Puppy Love from Kook Joey, going in. Welcome back. That was Kook Joey with her track called Puppy Love. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. I think for those of you that enjoy artists like Luffy and also May Somone, this is something that I think would be right up your alley to do the bossa nova stylings. Definitely a throwback sound, but Kook Joey definitely has those serene vocals that are akin to both Luffy and also May Simone, if you are enjoyers of the music. And I was actually checking out the song credits for this track because there's this guy named Tobias Priddle who is, man, he had his work cut out for him on this song, because the performers, people that performed on this this song include Joanna Cosbanis, who is the vocalist and songwriter that is Kook Joey, right? But then you have Tobias Priddle, who is acoustic guitar, background vocals, bass, electric guitar, marimba, mellotron, percussion. So that's everything that he did on this track. And I actually had to look up what a marimba was. And it's like this giant wooden xylophone thing, and it's just flat, and it's on these two legs standing. And that's what's kind of creating that tropical sound in this song. So yeah, shout outs to Tobias, who was also the mixing and recording engineer on top of being producer. This guy sounds like he has his name all over the place, but yeah, I think this is a really cool track that I luckily found through the interest of Don West, who at this point some of you may be familiar with, and if you aren't, you can check back on our episodes. We talked about Don West's debut album for the album review that we did, in addition to some of the other songs that were leading up to his debut album. We made episodes about that. But anyways, that's going to end up being it for this episode, for this smorgasbord or sampler episode of some of the artists that I've been checking out as of late. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And thanks again so much for the 200 subscriber count. We really appreciate it. I never thought we would get this far or even would have support from anybody. And I know we're kind of handicapping ourselves by being strictly audio, but we certainly appreciate all the support that we have gotten. And just thank you for everything. And I'll catch you all next episode. All right, peace out.